Good afternoon everybody, and welcome to another out and about video. And today's story brings us to a place called Holden Wood, or it used to be known as Holden Wood, and it's situated just outside of the town of Haslingden. And we're going to uncover the disappearance of a young girl way back in 1866, and the young girl was called Maria Whittaker. On Saturday 22nd of December 1866, the body of a young woman aged 18 years was recovered from a lodge adjacent to the Holden Wood cotton mill that was owned by Mr. James Maxwell and situated in a place known as Holden Wood near Haslingden. At around 1:30 in the afternoon, John Holgate, a spinner employed at Maxwell's mill whilst passing by his place of work, had noticed something bobbing about just above the water level in a lodge that was within yards of the mill. Upon making his way over to the water's edge, it was then he saw the head of a young girl which was just above the water, with the remainder of her body submerged. So Maria Whittaker was only 18 years of old when she went missing, like I said, back in 1866, and it was on the 15th of November when she was last seen alive. Now, she'd made a relatively, I'd say, long distance from a place called Stubbins Lane in Ramsbottom to make her way up to here, which is called Holden Wood. Now, on the day, it was a wet, miserable day, and apparently she'd been in low spirits. She'd been in trouble with the supervisor at the mill she worked at in Stubbins, but apparently, from all accounts, she was also seeing a man by the name of Robert Dawes, who was basically shunning her. He didn't really want much to do with her. So she was in low spirits, and like I said, she was only 18 years old, but she made her way to this area. Now, we're going to quickly go over the story because there isn't a lot of information. It is another one of these short stories that we've picked up in the local papers. But yeah, she made her way to Holden Wood, which is where we are now, and just in this direction here, where them three people are walking down the side lane, there used to be a mill here owned by James Maxwell. Richard Fearful, a carter, was one of the first to give evidence, and he would tell the jury that he had resided in Holden Wood next door to the Holden Arms Hotel. He had seen Maria on the morning of the 15th of November at around 8 o'clock. She was coming up the road near Hamshore towards the Lane End's toll bar. Upon reaching the toll bar, she examined the roads leading to Haslingden and to Haslingden Grain. However, she turned back and made her way towards Occupation Road, which separates the reservoir from the lodge at James Maxwell's Holden Wood mill. Richard would then detail how he had seen Maria heading towards the valve house due to the heavy rain that had begun to fall, but never thought too much of this. Right, now, we do have some extra footage that we're going to film shortly, which I hope you guys find interesting, so stay with us till the end of this video. We're going to try to do some paranormal stuff while we're here today, with it being quite a quiet pathway. We're going to use dowsing rods, cat balls, and we're going to try and find some more information on Maria Whittaker. Now, it's something new, we've never done it before. We're going to try and be respectful as best we can, because obviously it's still somebody's life at the end of the day. But we're going to try and get to the bottom as to why Maria, if she did commit suicide, why would she do that? Now, the chap who remembered seeing Maria making her way down Occupation Road was known as Richard Fearful. That was his name. And like I said, this was the last known sighting of her being alive, and he just remembered watching her, like I said, walk down this said road here. But the bizarre thing is, and I can't get my head around it, is she went missing for a full month, you know, maybe 5-6 weeks before she was next seen, and obviously she was dead. Now, in that time, her father, Lawrence Whittaker, he put a small, not an ad, I wouldn't call it an advertisement, in the Bury Times, and it basically said if anybody knew anything about her disappearance or her whereabouts, there was a substantial reward in it for them. And if you can hear the geese, look at this. We've never been disturbed by geese before like that. But yeah, getting back to the story. Now, her father, Lawrence, as we were saying before we were disturbed by the geese, he actually put like an advertisement. It was an ad at the end of the day, a small feature, and I'll put it over the screen now. But it basically gave a description of his daughter. But again, what makes these stories kind of uncanny and strange is he actually put her age at around 17 years old, but we know she was 18, but I mean, that's by the by. His daughter went missing. On the afternoon of December the 22nd, it was a man called John Holgate. He was a carter, I think he was a carter, or he was definitely a worker who worked at Maxwell's mill, which was here, and he noticed something strange bobbing up and down in the lodge. When he went to look at it, he actually saw the face or the head of Maria bobbing in the water, but her body was submerged. And them geese are noisy. So he went down to investigate it more, and that's when he actually realised it was a body. Now, he knew, because obviously he'd worked at the mill, he's been here for many years, he realised that the water was too deep for him to even risk going in and grabbing her out. It was 9 feet deep. So instead he went for the help of another worker, another colleague, who in turn then went for the police. When the police arrived, all 3 men then managed to succeed in dragging Maria's dead, obviously lifeless body out of the lodge. The body was then taken to a lady's house called Mary Whittaker's. Again, it was known as Waterfoot. All these names have now changed. It's no longer known as Waterfoot, but in Haslingden, just further down Graham Road. But she was taken, her body was taken to her house, where Mary undressed her and then checked for any obvious signs of abuse. You know, like she might have been strangled, beaten up, whatever. You know, basically signs of her death. On the back of Maria's head was several marks. Now, Mary said at the time it looked like it was fish and rats that have probably been gnawing away at Maria's head. Now, at the inquest, which took place, I think it was at the Holden Arms Hotel, which is just up here, and one also took place at the Commercial Inn in Haslingden, the doctor, I think it was Mr. Binns, who actually said that it wasn't little fish that was eaten away at poor Maria's head, it was actually rats, which Mary did say that's the initial recovery of the body, if you will. So it's a bit horrific, and also there was a lot of decomposition as well in Maria's body, especially her hands, but if she's been in water for that long, you can understand why. So in front of us is where James Maxwell's cotton mill once stood, where Maria Whittaker's body sadly was found in a lodge just in front of us. I think the mill was set quite far back where the bridge is, and obviously you've got the spillway, the runway from the reservoir. So the lodge was basically where I'm pointing now, where I'm circling. That is where Maria Whittaker's body was found. Like I said, we can't get to it because there's no public access, and like we've always said on this channel, we won't obviously go on private land and won't trespass. Years ago we'll be able to get to the Valve House, which were down there, because me and Vicky, when we were courting, we actually sat there for quite a while, didn't we? But nowadays we just can't get to it. But this is where the cotton mill was, and where unfortunately Maria's lifeless body would be found on December the 22nd, 1866. Now, at the inquest that took place shortly after her body was recovered, I think it was John Holgate who actually said that there was something wrong with the water pressure from the valve house that fed into the lodge, leading up to the discovery of Maria's body. Now, it was said that she didn't drown herself in the reservoir, which is on this side. This is Holden Vale Reservoir, or Holden Wood Reservoir, and they said that at the time she possibly drowned herself here, and the body ended up coming over and into the lodge. Now, at the time, Holgate said that would be pretty much impossible, because the body would have been too heavy for the actual water to spill over and end up where she was found. Now, this spillway, as it is, you can see now, is quite modern. This wasn't here when obviously this story took place. But also what Holgate said is the reservoir has a grid over it. It has quite a big grid, and that's to prevent any debris, dirt and other bits and bobs actually making its way through the pipes and thus blocking them before the water gets into here. So there's no way that she could have drowned herself, like I said, in the reservoir. It's more likely that she did drown herself here in the lodge. So we know Maria was intimate with a man called Robert Dawes. Now, he would deny all this at the inquest, saying it wasn't on intimacy terms, he didn't want to be with her, he didn't want her. And this kind of put Maria into a depressive state of mind, if you will. again, it's only snippets that we've picked up in the papers, but her mother Nancy, who went to the inquest, would tell the jury that you know, she had this fascination with Robert Dawes. Now he, like I said, he denied it, but the mother was more than adamant that they'd met up on several occasions. So it makes you wonder, is there more to this case, more to this tragic story than meets the eye? At the end of it all came out that she was just found drowned, so she took her own life. But it does beg the question, she went missing for what, 5 weeks, 6 weeks before her body was found? Could she well have been with Robert Dawes for longer, obviously before she took her own life, or before she was drowned? Was she murdered? That's basically what I'm asking. It's a strange story, and it's a tragic one, because if she took her own life just because she was paying inattention to work and because Robert was basically spurning her advances, it is a tragic story. She was 18 years old. So we're going to go down the pathway now, and we're going to try something different for the channel, and if you guys like it, if you find it interesting, we'll do more of these things. But basically we're going to try and do some dowsing. We've got some dowsing rods, we're going to get the cat balls out, and we'll try to communicate with Maria. We'll try and do it in a respectful way, and if it works, like I said, comment down below and tell us your thoughts on it. So in front of me we've got some dowsing rods. Now we've been playing with these over the last 24 hours to see how they work and everything, but like I said, if I'm doing it wrong, comment down below and tell me what I should be doing. But we're going to try and make communication now with, hopefully with Maria, because like I said, these things kind of fascinate us on this channel, and we thought it's something different for you guys as well. So we'll start now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the rods to hopefully move for a yes answer and a no answer, and then we'll take it from there. So level them out first. So first of all, may I ask, will we be okay dowsing today? Can you move to a yes? So straight away they're both separated, so I'm going to take that as a yes. Can you, we'll level it up first. Can you now please move to give me a no answer? Can you move in a direction to give me a no answer? Right, so they're both crossed. We'll take that as a no. Now, I'll ask the same question again for a yes answer. Can you please again give me a yes answer by moving the rods? So they're both opened up fully. So we'll take that as a yes. Right. We're going to call out for Maria. Maria, if you are with us or you are near to us, can you move the rods to give me a yes answer? So they've opened up, so again Maria, if you are with us, can you open the rods? Now that's interesting. They're opening up on command. I'm not moving them, just to show you guys, these are on like a sleeve, so I can't actually physically move these, my thumbs aren't touching it. Maria, can I ask the important question? Did you take your own life, yes or no? They've crossed. So she never took her own life. I'll ask again for clarification, my thumbs are coming off now. Maria, again, can you just confirm, did you take your own life, yes or no? They've crossed, so they've crossed twice. Right, okay, thank you Maria, if you're with us. Maria, were you murdered? They've opened fully. I'm sorry about this, Maria. Maria, can you move the rods? Can you please turn them to the direction where you were murdered, where your body was found, or where you were murdered? Now, to my left is where the lodge was, where Maria's body was found, and both rods moved. Maria, just for confirmation, can you please move the rods to where your body was discovered or where you were murdered? Now they both moved again to the left. That is where the lodge was and where Maxwell's mill was. I'm sorry about all this, Maria, but thank you for communicating with us. Maria, can I ask, was it a man named Dawes that took your life? Yes or no? They've opened. We're taking that as a yes answer. Maria, just for clarification, I'm going to ask again. Was it a man named Dawes that took your life? Now, I'm sorry about this, Maria. Now, I can't explain how these are moving. People will say I'm manipulating it, I'm moving them, but like I said, these are on the sheath which spins round, and for me to try to turn them, it's very, very difficult, and I don't think I could. But we're getting Maria coming through, and especially it looks like she was murdered. We're going to do something else now to try to confirm. Maria, can you tell me roughly what your age was within maybe 1 or 2 years? Right, so they've opened up, so she's going to communicate. Maria, were you... It's windy. Maria, were you 15, 16 years old? Yes or no? That's a straight no, isn't it? Maria, were you aged 18 to 20? Yes or no? Let's open up. So we know she was 18. Maria, another question for you, and I'm sorry to ask this. Are you stuck where you are now? Yes or no? That's another yes. Maria, I'm not sure we'll be able to help you, but do you need help in leaving where you are now? So she does. No, she needs help, but we can't help her because we're not qualified to do something like that. Maria, on the 15th November 1866, when you were last seen alive, did you spend the rest of your time in the lodge after being seen in the valve house? No. So she didn't spend all the time here.
Was life actually taken on that day? Oops.
Maria, were you murdered on the 15th November? Yes or no? That's a no. So she wasn't murdered on the 15th. So what's the new coming then? Maria, did you spend maybe several days in somebody else's company before you were murdered? Yes or no? That's a yes. It's so bizarre because we're asking questions which we actually do know the answers to, like where she was found, but obviously questions such as where she murdered, we don't know. It was put down as obviously suicide. Right, that's another question to make sure it's all legit. Maria, again, I've got to ask the same question as I had before. Was a man named Dawes responsible for your death? Straight away, it's a yes. Right, we're going to try the EMF reader now, and hopefully Maria can use this device, because we've had some interesting results with this in the past. So Maria, if you're with us, if you're still with us, thank you for talking, but you can use this device in front of me, which will light up different coloured lights the closer you get to it. If you could do that for us, that would mean so much. Because as you can tell, oh, there we go. That was something. I'm just scanning around to see if there's any light, anything that could start it now. Because look, you get closer to get with the camera, it's not doing it. But Maria, can you do that again, please? Can you stand next to this device in my hand? If you can get it to flash up to the second green light. Just come towards me, Maria. Or any spirit of that. Can walk up to this device, Maria. This device in my left hand, this grey device, Maria, if you're with us, walk up to it. So there's no interference at all around us, is there? Maria, please come up to this device. Oh, there we go. Thank you for that. Thank you. Do it again, please. Thank you. It's flashing now. Maria, can you go up to the yellow light now? Get Oh, there we go. Thank you for that. Get closer to it. That was weird, that was strange because it did flash. Can you do it again, please, Maria? It would mean so much if you could. Weird how it fluctuated there because there's no interference around here. I mean, you have got that power thing directly in front, but look, there's nothing. So it's not picking up that. I'm not saying it's not picking up intermittently, but you think it'd do it all the time. So well, that was strange because we did get a reaction. I've swapped sides now because what I want to do, I just want to clarify that the dowsing rods did move on their own accord, or obviously they were being influenced by the spirit of Maria. Now, the lodge now is on my right hand side, so I'm going to ask the same question. Maria, first of all, if you're still with us, can you open the rods? Right, so they've opened, so she's still with us. Maria, can you please turn the rods to where the lodge was, where you were either murdered or where your body was found? So they've now gone to the right hand side. That is where the lodge was, like I keep saying. There's definitely something intriguing about using dowsing rods. Maria, an important question I need to ask. Were you pregnant when you were murdered, yes or no? So that's a no, it's a cross. Exactly, that would have come out in the autopsy. Thank you, Maria. Maria, were you unhappy at home? It's kind of in between that. I suppose you could all say yes or no to that. Maria, were you happy at work? That's a straight no, which we know she weren't. Maria, do you stay in this place out of choice? That's a no. That's a bit sad. That's a no. Maria, I don't want to ask that question really. I'll cut that bit out because I don't want to ask that. What else can I ask? Something really.
We don't know anyone.
Maria, were you in love with the man called Dawes? Yes or no? So I'll say yeah. Now bearing in mind, I will say this, the wind is blowing from behind me now, and these are going in the direction of the wind. So if the wind was moving these, it'd be pushing them towards you, and it's not, they're going behind me. So I just want to clarify that to the viewers, yeah? So she was in love with Dawes. Maria, were you intimate with the man named Dawes? I say yeah. So everything the mother said about being intimate. Maria, do you still see Dawes in the spirit world, yes or no? That's a yeah, that's a no. Got a wasp on me now, so I have to put that short. Just to clarify, Maria, because I got put off, do you still see Dawes in the spirit world, yes or no? That's a no. So she's in the spirit world now. Maria, if you are trapped here, do you still see your family members in the spirit world, yes or no? No, that's what I'm saying. But I'm asking questions, so just to show people I'm not influencing it. This is really bizarre now because, like I said, I'm literally dumbstruck how this is happening. Again, Maria, I know for the third time, and I know it's not a circus show, but please, can you move the rods to the direction your body was located, or where you were murdered? Which is the lodge over that side. Thank you, Maria. Maria, unfortunately we're going to have to leave now, and we are really sorry we can't help you. We will look into it and perhaps come back sometimes. Are you okay with us coming back at any time to speak with you? Open the rods for yes or close them for no. See, the wind's blowing your way and it's open. So thank you, Maria, for that. We'll leave it there. We'll pay our respects to Maria because it is a sad story. Tell us what you thought of the dowsing rods, because like I said, a lot of wind's coming from behind me, so in theory the rod should be pushing that way if the wind was moving them. The wind isn't pushing them. It really is a bizarre case, but please comment down below, tell me what you think of things like this. So Maria, sad as it is, like I said, she was found in James Maxwell's lodge just to our left. Now her body, after obviously the inquest took place and the post-mortem, it was interred at St James's Church up in Haslingden on Christmas Day, December the 25th, 1866. Now it is a sad tale, it really is, it's another one. I mean, I hope you find the dowsing interesting. Okay, the cat balls didn't work and the EMF reader, it flickered just a couple of times. If you found that side of it interesting, which we do, comment down below, tell me, do you want to see us do more with the dowsing rods? But I can't explain how they work. I know there's something called idiomotor or idiorotor. There's a phrase for it where it could be small muscle movements that are allowing the rods to move to where you want them to move. But like I said, they're on a copper sheath. They swivel at, you know, their own will, if you will. There's a lot of wind behind me, so if the yes answers were legit, the rods wouldn't be going against the wind so easily. They were moving on their own. We changed directions facing up and down this lane, and the first time they pointed to the left side, which is where the lodge was. Then they pointed to the right side, obviously my right side, again to where the lodge was. We can't explain how these rods work in a logical way. They do interest me. I'm not saying you have to believe them. It is a personal choice. I'm not saying I 100% believe that Maria herself perhaps was here, but it just seems there's a lot of similarities between the story we've just told you guys, the information we've relayed to you guys, and what we've picked up on using the rods. I've always questioned this story, as in, did she take her own life or was she murdered? Because she disappeared for up to 5 weeks. It's a long time to not be seen floating in this lodge, and especially with daily working into the evenings. There are a number of people that would have walked along Occupation Road across here. Perhaps people would have walked down this pathway. The lodge is only there, and yet nobody had seen her until the December the 22nd, when her body was recovered. I've always thought she was somewhere else for quite a long period of time before her life was taken from her. Tell me what your thoughts are down below on that. Is it plausible these dowsing rods do communicate with the spirit world? So Vic, seriously now, I'm going to ask you a question. On a serious note, right, do you think Maria took her own life, or again it's one of these, do you think she was murdered and it was just a simple case, she was found drowned, so it's suicide? What are your thoughts?
I don't think we've got enough information on this one.
We don't.
But if her mum was right, was this Dawes guy in another relationship, did you say?
Again, it's very sparse, information is very sparse on it. I don't think he was.
Because if he wasn't, why would he deny it?
This is it.
I don't know.
But
I couldn't say with this one.
The podcast that I've written, I'm going to record. I'll put a voice over it. But from all accounts, he kind of contradicted himself at one of the inquests, because there was two. There was a post-mortem, the inquiry into obviously the recovery of the body, and then there was an inquest a couple of days later into her last known whereabouts, if you will. But at the second one, this Dawes guy was obviously questioned, and he contradicts himself, because one breath he says he was never intimate with Maria,
right,
and then in the next breath I think he said he met her twice, but in intimacy, is that the word? Capacity? Yeah. In an intimate capacity. So he contradicts himself at the inquest. So he was intimate, but yet denied being intimate. So that's why I think there's more to this guy than what, then it just been a simple case of he's dumped Maria, he didn't want to know with her, be with her, and then she ends up committing suicide. But it's a strange one. I mean, like I said, the dowsing rods, if we do believe the dowsing rods, say just for hands, we believe it, Robert Dawes has more to do with this tragic story than meets the eye, which I believe there's something fishy with it anyway. But yeah, it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it depends on what's true.
Well, we'll never know. That's the thing. We'll never know what the truth is.
Because we've got too much limited information.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with it.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. If you enjoyed this story with a bit of a twist, with a bit of a paranormal twist, if you will, comment down below. Tell us what your thoughts are. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do a lot more of this kind of content using dowsing rods, because I do find them interesting. Tell me what your thoughts are on dowsing rods as a whole. Is it muscle movements? Is it mind over matter? Or is there something more that we just cannot answer? Is there more to it? Comment down below. But in the meantime, as I always say, take care, look after yourselves. We will be back soon with another tale from our past. We're hoping to get out a bit further now. Petrol prices are now slowly coming down, so we can travel a little bit further. Yeah, but in the meantime, like I said, take care, look after yourselves, and we will be back soon with another tale from our past. So as we make our way back to the car after the end of this story, we are heading towards which, like I said, used to be known as 3 Lane Ends. And like I said, take a left takes you to Grain and Blackburn, take a right takes you towards Haslingden, and take a other right, if you will, a second right, it will take you towards Helmshore, the village of Helmshore. But yeah, I don't think locals know it as 3 Lane Ends anymore. I only came across it whilst while researching this story. But yeah, I can understand why it's known as 3 Lane Ends, to be fair. But it's just coming up now, just past this house on our right. And this road, or this old walkway if you will, this is known, or was known as Occupation Road. I keep saying was known as because, like I said, a lot of people don't use these terms anymore, such as Waterfoot further down. There is a Waterfoot, but it's on the way to a place called Bacup. But this area certainly isn't known as Waterfoot anymore. So where that car's just come round now, this is 3 lane ends. And the Holden Arms pub is on our right, where one of the inquests took place. That's the Holden Arms now, today. So that's the Holden Arms Inn. Oh. And this is 3 lane ends.